day two. So we will start this presentation now. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to our Stoicast Department Spotlight, Internships and Careers in Anthropology, presented by the Social Sciences Academic Resource Center. My name is Michael Ungus, and I'm one of your Stoic peer consultants, and I also joined by my fellow colleague and Stoic peer consultant, Kat Hua. If you have any questions, please submit them through the Zoom Q&A or chat feature, which is located at the bottom of your screen. We will be addressing all questions at the end. So without further ado, let's begin.
Hi, everyone. So just to start off, a little introduction about ourselves. We're the SARC peer consultants for this year. And my name is Kat. As mentioned earlier, I'm a fourth year psychology major, and I have a minor in education.
My name is Michael Ungus. I don't know why there was that pause, but yeah, my name is Michael Ungus. I'm also a fourth year psychology major, but with a minor in medical anthropology. So let's begin. What is anthropology? I think for all of us, since we all are in the School of Social Sciences, we may have taken one of those introductory anthropology courses. But to recap, or for those who haven't heard of anthropology, anthropology is a study focusing on the development and evolution of humankind, societies, and cultures from across different spaces and time periods. There are four main branches of anthropology, which are cultural anthropology, physical anthropology, linguistic anthropology, and archaeology. These four are usually the core subfields of anthropology that you find under its umbrella term. And to define each of them, cultural anthropology is a type of study focusing on present-day societies that aren't westernized. Physical anthropology, or also known as biological anthropology, focuses on human biology in both past and present settings. Linguistic anthropology studies language constructions and its usage within human societies. And archaeology is a study focusing on the past human societies through artifacts. But there are other branches of anthropology as well that aren't really listed in the core four. There's also forensic anthropology, which is like looking through remains and like working with the police and stuff like that in regards to like criminal cases and stuff. And then there's medical anthro, which I am in, which looks into the medical field, but in an anthropological state, meaning that we take into consideration different cultures and how the Western medical world affects these cultures and how these cultures practice their own types of medicines and terminology and stuff like that. So now I want to talk about the levels of education, which are all offered here at UCI. So to start off, we do have our bachelor's in the anthropology department here at UCI, which focuses more on a socio-cultural perspective, but we do still have those classes that are introductory and could lead you into different subsections and fields of anthropology. And then UCI, within the School of Social Sciences and the Anthropology Department, we also have a master's and PhD program. Master's, which is the Masters of Arts in Medicine, Science, and Technology Studies, or MSTS, focuses on mastering those concentrations of medicine, science, and technologies, which is perfect for our times today because we are constantly evolving in medicine and science. So this degree helps broadens and rounds out the field and understanding very well. And then we also have a PhD in anthropology, which is your general, doctorate's degree in anthropology overall. But there are other fields and specialties you can pursue a degree in. It does not have to be just anthropology. So you can also get a master's in like education or humanities or sociology to really help refine or broaden out, round out like your bachelor's in anthropology if you guys are pursuing a degree. But at the end of the day, it all depends on your career preferences and what you want to go for and what's your goal. So your master's and PhD may be different, but it's what you choose to do. So we also want to mention the certificates that UCI Anthropology has. There's 5 different certificates: law and policy, global studies, economy and culture, gender studies, and medical anthropology. All of this information and the previous information regarding degrees could all be found in the anthropology department website. And we also have a video on our SARC YouTube page talking about certificates in more detail.
So the different career settings are kind of separated into 4 categories. So the first being academic. And so if you're an anthropology major, you could work on campuses in departments of anthropology or in research laboratories. And you could also teach and conduct research. So according to the American Anthropology Association, there are a number of academic anthropologists who find careers in other departments or university programs such as School of Medicine, um, epidemiology, public health, ethnic studies, cultural studies, community or area studies, linguistics, and the list goes on. There's just a really long list and it's a lot of options out there. The next being corporate and business. You can work in market research. So corporate anthropologists can work in market research to conduct targeted focus groups to examine consumer preference patterns not readily apparent through statistical surveys or methods. And these anthropologists use their research skills to talk to consumers and users to technology and find out how products and services could be improved. And the next is going to be the government setting. So this is where you could work in the state and local government organizations. Um, these anthropologists are planning, doing research, and just managing how they could work in that setting. And the possible career paths include like international development, cultural resource management, the legislative branch, forensic and physical anthropology, natural resource management, and defense and security sectors. And the last setting would be the nonprofit and community-based one. So this could be like international health organizations and development bank that employ anthropologists to help design and implement a wide variety of programs for this kind of setting. And then next we have the common career paths. So first one we have is archaeologists. So according to the California Department of Parks and Recreation, you have 3 different options where you can work as the archaeological aid specialist or the project leader. And all of these can be found on their website where they talk about how these roles all differ, but it's for people who are anthropology majors. And if you have a bachelor's degree, another way you could go is by starting as a field technician, and you could survey the land for archaeological resources whenever there are plans for ground disruption, such as installing a highway or oil pipeline. And then another common career path is being a college professor. So you would spend a great deal of time preparing for classes, writing lectures, grading papers, working with students, and composing scholarly articles or writing books. And for this position, you would need like a master's if you want to work at the community college level, but you have to pursue more schooling if you want to work at like a university. And then next we have the anthropologists, where you could be in the environmental or medical side of that. So if you want to go with the environmental anthropologist, you may consider a career in like the National Park Service or the State Department Office of Environmental Quality. And the environmental anthropologist majors go to work in the US Fish or Wildlife Service, as well as national and international non-governmental organizations. And then for the medical anthropologist, this is a form of applied anthropology that merges the fundamental principles of anthropology and an understanding of health issues in the medical industry. So you could help develop important policies and processes for providing healthcare to diverse populations. And lastly, there's the museum curator, where you can educate the public about collections and often assist with events or activities to bring people to the museum site. And you could acquire, store, or create exhibits for artifacts. So all of this information is going to be on our slides, and it'll be shared with you at the end of the presentation too. So these are just like a few options out there, but there's obviously way more. Next, we're going to talk about how you could build connections and get your internships. So one advice we have is to take advantage of the UCI Anthropology website and meet with current graduate students or faculty. On the website, on the tab where it's for undergrads, you could click in the front page, it would have a link to those 2 pages. And I suggest you could reach out to the faculty or graduate students to ask about their current experience and build a connection there where you could possibly have a letter of recommendation in the future if you're considering grad school, or just to do informational interviews and ask about how they got to where they are now and different career paths that they have thought about in the past and they have experienced just exploring. And then next we have to search the type of internship you're interested in, Handshake or Indeed. And even if you find an internship that doesn't relate to your major, or you want experience in interning, that's where you could find a lot of opportunities. And another advice we'd give is to get experience with research by working in a lab. This is where meeting with professors would be helpful. And if you have a professor that's doing research that interests you, you could possibly ask if they need research lab assistance, or ask a professor if they want to do research with you and your own interests. Lastly, for internships related to the field, some that I was easily able to Google was human resources internship, data analysis internship, a museum internship, or like even a zoo internship, or like the San Diego Zoo, if anybody lives around the area and is interested in that. And then next, these are just a few more resources that have been mentioned, but others that haven't. For example, the Anteater Network, this website is used for current UCI students to connect with UCI alum. And then you could find a mentor through here, anybody related in the field with your major. And as I mentioned earlier, Handshake. So this is where you could find your internships or even job opportunities. Next is LinkedIn. This is where you can manage your professional identity and build and engage with your professional network, or look for opportunities through the site as well. This site is not just UCI only. You could find people from other schools or just anyone in your field. And it's the largest professional network on the internet. So I would suggest doing that and going on there, because this is where you could also learn how to build your resume as well, since it's like a way to present your online resume. Next, we have ONET, which is a site for career exploration, and it gives you a detailed job description and lists necessary requirements such as skills, tasks, and the education you would need. And it would have a summary report of all the important information that you could find about the job that you're interested in. After that, we have Focus to Career, which is a self-assessment kind of website that helps you discover majors and occupations that match your personal attributes. You would take a work interest assessment, personality assessment, leisure assessment, and skills assessment, and then they would combine all of those assessments together and find out which job matches your different skill set and just qualities about yourself. And then lastly, we have Big Interview, which is something that UCI DCP offers, and you can log in through your own UCI account. And what you do on there is you could practice virtual interviews, and they give you like a step-by-step on how to answer questions at interviews. It's just a really good resource if you're trying to get ready for an interview after you sign up for the internship or anything like that, and you need help on how to get prepared for an interview. Okay, so now for any questions?
Okay, so I know that one of the pre-submitted questions was, is it possible to go into the anthropology with non-anthropology majors? And I believe that they're asking, is it possible to I guess double major in anthropology? And yes, yes, you can, if you're not in, what do you call it? If you're not doing anthropology as a major here in like the School of Social Sciences or in other schools, you can also double major into anthropology if you feel like it will help broaden your career. I know with the social sciences, you could also minor if you wanted to. Like for me, I'm minoring in medical anthropology because I believe that having a background in like medicine, but in cultural ways could really help round out my psychology knowledge and really help me think outside the box and see things in a different light. So yes, you can implement anthropology if it's not related to like your actual major, as long as you feel like it would be great for you to like help round out your career and you have like an interest or passion in regarding the field. And then I know we have a question from the Q&A, which is, can we major in anthropology and apply for a certificate? And just like the answered response, yes, you can. The certificates are a great way to help supplement and like complement all of your academic schoolwork. It just also shows it shows like your dedication, like how passionate you are and how rounded out you focused on regarding each certificate. And just like the answered question, all certificates are, the anthropology certificates are available to all students of UCI. You don't have to be you don't have to be majoring in anthropology or a student in the social sciences. You could apply and go after all the certificates that social sciences has to offer. There's another question. Okay, for the certificate in gender studies, how many of the classes do we need to take? It lists the classes on the site, but doesn't specify if we need to take all or number. Also, how do we find anthropology colloquia to do the reports on? I believe all of the answers are on the anthropology department website. I will drop a link regarding the certificates, the entire certificate process. I know, I think it was like 2 days ago, I was checking on the colloquia. I feel like when I was on it, it didn't seem like they were updating it at the time. So I don't know how I could respond to that answer. And then for the classes regarding gender studies, I'm not too sure actually. Krista, do you have any?
Yeah, so if you're on the website and you click on the gender or certificate in gender studies, it will lead you to all the specific courses that you need to take. So looks like I'm looking at it right now. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 10 courses altogether. And let's see, I think with the colloquia, they'll probably provide you more information once you're actually taking part in the actual certificate itself. But of course, for additional information, we always encourage you to reach out to the anthropology department to inform them that you are interested in it. You do have to fill out like a whole application process on there as well. So most likely they will provide you more information. The point person for all of the Anthro certificates is Monica Rodriguez. And so that is the person that you should refer your questions to. Hopefully that helps.
If you have any other questions, you could also put in the Q&A chat right now. Okay, and if not, then we'd like to thank everybody for attending our department spotlight for today. And here is our social media or how to keep in touch with us. We have our SARC email and Instagram account, Facebook account, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So make sure you connect with us on LinkedIn, and that's where you can start your professionalism or your journey to just getting started on LinkedIn. We post a lot of updates on our Facebook and Instagram, and we post on our YouTube of recording or recorded events like this. So once we have an update on when this will be posted, it'll be on our Instagram. And looks like that's all the questions we have for today then. Thank you again for joining us. The Social Sciences Academic Resource Center is available to support you and your academic endeavors. Schedule a consultation with us today about your goals, and we could advise you about graduate school, internship, research, and much more. For more information, please visit the link in the chat, which I'll link right now. And I hope everybody has a great day.